Basketball, football, and hockey cards all on the rise. I've got 5 of the hottest ones in today's top 5 cards.
My name is Geoff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me and my team as we help you profit from the hobby we all love.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Top 5 Tuesday. Teapot here, filling in for Jeff, who is out this week. And before we get into the top 5, let me actually first kick it over to a special message from Jeff recorded about an exciting contest between Sports Card Investor and Bleecker Trading.
Hey guys, I have a very special announcement for you today. We're doing a Sports Card Investor Trade Night at Bleecker Trading in New York City in May, and one of you is going to get to go for free with free airfare, free lodging, free transportation, and other prizes courtesy of Bleecker Trading. We are holding a contest right now to see who's going to win and who gets to go for free. You can enter right now. The link to the contest is in the show description on this YouTube video. Additionally, if you're anywhere in the New York area, or if you want to travel in for this trade night, you need to RSVP, but RSVPing is open right now, and do it soon because all the spots will fill up. The trade night is going to be May the 10th from 7 to 10 p.m. at Bleecker Trading in New York. So if you can make that, May the 10th, 7 to 10 p.m. in New York, then RSVP right now for the trade night using the link in the show description. There's 2 links, one to enter the contest, and then the other to RSVP if you're in that area. Thanks, and I hope to see you there.
All right, what an exciting giveaway. Awesome. The trade night should be awesome. Again, check down in the link below in the show notes for more details. Now, as a reminder, the cards featured in today's episode are cards that have gone up in price recently. We are not giving advice about what cards to invest in. We believe you should always do your own research and decide how to invest on your own. Now, without further ado, let's get into this week's top 5. All right, at number 5 this week, the goalie for the New York Rangers, Igor Shesterkin. Now, Shesterkin is currently one of the betting favorites for the Hart Trophy. Goalies can be a little bit volatile with their pricing, much like pitchers in baseball, but they can have pretty strong markets when things align properly, and especially when they're having hot seasons. And if we jump over and take a look at this card for Shesterkin, this is his 2019 SP Authentic Upper Deck Update. This is an update kind of card that came out basically like his Young Guns, but as part of SP Authentic. And you can see that going back over the last 60 days, since January 16th, this started at $390, now climbing all the way up most recently to $625 for this card. Shesterkin having a fantastic season, and his card prices are obviously reflecting that. At number 4 this week, the Knicks wing, their future, RJ Barrett. Now, RJ Barrett, obviously the Knicks are struggling, but Barrett, he's having a pretty good season. He's been averaging 19 points per game this season while shooting 35% from 3. But over his last 5 games, he's been on a tear, averaging 29 points per game. So Barrett's heating up. The Knicks, it remains to be seen. But even though the Knicks haven't followed up on last year's success, Barrett still very much appears to be in line to be good enough to be their cornerstone player who they plan to build around. And multiple cards have been trending up, like his Fanatic Silver Wave, his Purple My House. Now specifically this card, his 2019 Optic Holo PSA 10. This card over the last 30 days started out at $114, now all the way up to $161. We saw this little dip. Obviously sometimes there can be really great arbitrage opportunities if you find auctions expiring at the right times, and we saw that a little bit here with a dip for Barrett in the month of February. Part of that could have been the All-Star break. But like we said, he's been on an absolute tear. And even if we go back over the last 90 days, you can see that Barrett's cards have been absolutely scorching, continuing to climb, and the future looks very bright for Barrett and the New York Knicks. All right, at number 3 this week, the first round draft pick and hopefully the future of the New York Giants, Daniel Jones. Now Jones, he started 11 games this past year for the Giants. He's obviously in line to be the starter this coming season. But last year he passed for just over 2,400 yards with 10 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Not exactly setting the world on fire. Right now he is purely a speculative buy. He hasn't really shown much progress, but playing in New York will certainly help your card market. Now, what'll be really interesting is to see what happens with new head coach Brian Daboll. Will he actually turn him around? Daboll did some great things with Josh Allen in Buffalo. Daniel Jones, obviously another athletic big quarterback. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen. But overall, Jones's cards have seen a lot of volatility. His prices on average across all cards and market movers are up 44% over the last 60 days. And in particular, his 2019 Daunris base card in a PSA 10. If we look over the last 60 days or so, you can see this card hit a low point really of $16.70, most recently up $34.88, 109%. Now, if we zoom out, that actually is a little bit deceptive, and this is why it's really important to look at the charts to have this historical, view of things. You can see over the last 90 days, Jones' price is actually slightly trending downward. We see a lot of volatility in here, so this is an interesting one because there's a lot of opportunity potentially for timing arbitrage to buy things at low prices, expiring on auctions, and maybe even look for a quick flip on a high point on a sale on a weekend or something. But overall, Jones, obviously, Giants fans, hoping that he can turn it around. If he doesn't this season, expect his card prices to drop and expect the Giants to be moving on. All right, at number 2 this week, the Florida Panthers wing, Jonathan Huberdeau. Now, Huberdeau is, like Shesterkin, one of the favorites early, one of the betting favorites to win the MVP. He's currently 3rd in total points and 3rd in points per game in the season in the NHL so far this year. Now, his cards are up 110% over the last 365 days. He's had just 41 sales over that period, and 14 have come in the last 2 months. Now, if we jump over and we look specifically, this is his Upper Deck Young Guns PSA 10, and we can see that going back over the last 90 days, this card was down at $218 in the middle of December, now shooting all the way up to $525 for the same PSA 10. Huberdeau is having a fantastic season, and his prices are obviously reflecting that. All right, it's time for the number 1 pick this week, but before we do that, as always, these charts and graphs are coming from Market Movers. Make sure to go over to marketmoversapp.com and check out Market Movers. You can try it absolutely free for 7 days by using promo code TRIAL. Head over to marketmoversapp.com and see which plan might be right for you. All right, at number 1 this week, the Memphis Grizzlies superstar Ja Morant. Now, Morant having an absolutely fantastic season, MVP caliber season, in fact, and he's one of the favorites potentially for the MVP, outside favorite. He's averaging 28 points per game and 6.6 assists per game with an improved 3-point shooting percentage. Now, there's still some concern about health with how hard he plays. Obviously, a lot of comparisons to Derrick Rose early in his career, but other than that, Morant is truly a human highlight reel. He's been absolutely incredible. Now, the next step for Morant is Memphis having a deep playoff push. Going deep into the playoffs will certainly solidify Morant as one of the great young players in this league. We've featured cards in the past, like his Optic, his Prism, his Select in this space. So it's good to get some variety in here, and let's take a look at his Daunris PSA 10 base card. And if we look over the last 90 days, it's just no surprise. This card was all the way down around $46 for Morant. Popped 3,383. So obviously not a low population card and not the most premium, highly sought after card, but this card is up 133%, all the way up to $108 over the last 90 days, as we have seen Morant come and rise into the league. So Ja Morant, awesome player to watch. Obviously his cards are going up in value across the board. We keep featuring him in the top 5, and this week he's our number 1 top 5 hottest card. All right, that wraps up this week's top 5. Thanks so much for watching. Jeff will be back next week, and go down in the show notes and check out that trade night and promotion from Bleecker Trading. It's an awesome opportunity, totally free if you win the contest, so go down and check that out. Visit marketmoversapp.com and try out our 7-day free trial. Thanks again, and happy investing.